Welcome to another episode of Motivated to the Max. I am your host, Daryl to Motivate, as some of us just call it D2M. So I hope everybody is doing well on today. You know, before we get started, we got to do the 10-second count off from where we can have a detox to make sure that there's nothing holding us back from doing the things that God wants for us to do. So here go your count off. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we just cast that thing on out, cast it out to the sea of forgetfulness, wherever you wanted it to go, for where it would never come back, from where you can have the positive vibe, the great feedback, from where you can be motivated to help motivate other people and to do the things of what God has called for you to do. I wanted to come with you guys here today on, are you okay with being okay? I know it don't make any sense sometimes. I know things may be sounding crazy and everything like that. But are you okay with being okay? I had a phone conversation. With somebody important. And so we were talking about whatever that was going on, with them and everything like that. And so then, the person was telling me everything what was going on, whatever certain changes and stuff done happened and everything like that. Changes that have been happening with that person, then with them themselves and everything like that. And so we were sitting there talking. So she said, "But what do you think?" And so I was like, "Well," I said, "Well, let me ask you this question: are you okay with the changes that done happen so far? Are you okay with it?" And so she was lost at first, like she was real lost, like, huh? And I was like, are you okay with being okay with everything that done happened? And so she was like, I don't know. I'm really not sure. I said, well, the one thing we have to learn, we have to learn how to be okay with all the changes, the stuff that done happened. Even the changes, the stuff that's going on with us right now, we have to be okay with the changes of what's going on with us. So, and I mean it's in the good changes, from where it's making you take a look at yourself, or it's making you really analyze yourself as like, hey, do I really want to be this type of person, or is this really what's best for me, or anything like that. I mean, you have to be okay to be, you have to be okay with being okay. And this came up about it, I had my phone call, with my person and everything. And also, I was watching a show. Y'all know me, I love, I watch, certain shows and everything, and it catch my eye. It meant for one thing, but then it catch my eye, and then then God gave it to me another type of way. From where, it was 3 students. They had a test they had to go through. They was in, martial arts or whatever like that. It was 3 tests on what they had to go through. And so the test was simple. You would think it was simple, from where it's for you to be able to get to this next level, where you have to defeat the masked person that was on the other side. You had to defeat that person for you to get to that next level of the training and everything. And so the 3 students, they started, they go into battle, they start fighting and everything like that. So then they find out that, but then they was losing the battle. And so 2 of the students, they was they caught their breath, and then they're well, I can't give up, we can't give up. So then they keep on going into the battle. They keep on going into the other thing. The third student was something's not right with this test. And so she was, she was looking at the test, and she was looking at everything of what was going on. And then she noticed that the people, that the masked people that they was fighting was kind of using the same technique that they was using on how the way that they defeated people. Find out, for the test and what they was in and everything, the student found out that they were actually fighting themselves. And so she was like, if I keep on rushing in, I'm not going to get the lesson on what I need to get from this. And so then the other thing that stood, and then they shook their head, was like, yep, you actually get it. Don't always like rush, from what they were learning, like, don't always just rush into battle, without a plan or anything like that. And so that was the lesson. So she passed the test. But then from what I learned from it and everything, from what I learned from that test and what they was doing, from where you have to face yourself and be okay for the changes that God has made with you. You have to be okay with these changes, because like God allowed these changes to happen for a reason, for his purpose, not for your purpose, but for his purpose. So I had to be okay with the changes that has been made, that was going on with, with me and everything. Like, prime example, like it was like I used to hang out with a lot of people. It's like a lot of people I used to hang out with. And, they was like, some of these people I done graduated from high school, I done went to college with and everything. It's been like a lot of people I used to hang out with. Me and my wife used to hang out with. But then it was some changes that we had to make. And then once me and my wife was making the changes that that was better for us and everything, then everything was starting to act kind of crazy. Because then it was like, some of the people we started hanging out with, we wasn't hanging out with them anymore. Some of them was like, oh man, they just think that they better than anybody. Everybody, they call us like, they were like calling me and my wife like bougie and everything like that. So we know we're not being bougie. We was just like, we got like better things. So we're like, what's going on? But then we had some of the friends was like, yo, we understand, because like we was in the same boat too. Like we trying to, we have to work. We have to get stuff done. We have to work. We got to get stuff done. So we got to like get up in the morning. Like we was all taking like more responsibilities on some of the things, on some of the changes than what was going on with us. Some had kids, so they was like, yo, I can't be doing some of the things on what I used to do. I got kids now. I'm trying to make, I got to make sure that my kids are good. And, it was just so many changes. And so we all had to sit right there and learn. It was like, well, it was like agree to disagree. Some of us was like, well, we just can't hang out anymore because like you killing off my vibe and everything. But then some of the rest of us like, yo, like we understand, because it's like we got lives too. And we got to make the changes in our lives too. And so I was sitting so I was sitting there and I was like going, I was talking with my, talking to the person I was talking to on the phone. And, this made me think about the episode and say, yo, it's like, you have to be okay with whatever the changes that God is making that's going to better you. You have to be okay with it. Many people is not going to be okay with the changes that you're going to that you're making in life. Many people is not going to be okay with them changes. Some people want you just to be stuck. And we can't be stuck. We have to be willing to make the change. It has to be that term. Change is good. You have to be willing to make the changes for the good. And so I was sitting there, we was talking and everything, and she was giving me all the gist and everything, what was going on. So then when I told her, say, yo, are you good with everything being good? Because like some of the changes on what was about to happen and everything, like it involves like her personal life, it involves her business, it involved like everything. So I was like, yo, are you really okay on like what's about to go down here? Are you okay with this? And so, so we was talking and everything. She was like, well, yeah, I'm okay. And everything like that. She said, because I had to learn, is that I can't sit here very long in this spot. Changes were going to have to be made just for me to get to that next level from where I need to be at. And so, hearing that from that person was like, yo, it's like, I had to be okay with the changes of what's going on, because if I'm sitting right here saying that I accept on what God has called me to be, that I'm trusting and believing what God has called me to be, I am okay with it. And then, and then now by me being okay with it, I'm starting to build up my confidence for everything for what God has called for me to be. I have to be okay with the changes that has been made. So my question is for you today, are you okay with being okay? We always say, well, yeah, I'm fine, I'm okay, or well like that. And let's go ahead and keep it hot, honest, open, and transparent. Sometimes we're not okay for what done happened and everything like that. Sometimes that incident or what like that may happen, it may be still stuck in our mind, but like, man, like, I really can't believe this happened. It may be at the point where it's like, yo, it's kind of hard to let that thing go. But I'm here to tell you today, is like, yo, it's okay for the changes that need to be made. So it's okay. Changes are okay. It's okay. Wow, it's okay to let go of some of them people who done pretty much probably done wrote you off a long time ago. It's okay to let them go. It's okay. I mean, like, you're still there. You're still praying. You're still praying for them and everything, but then you just don't rock with them like how the way that you used to rock with them anymore. For where, some of us might be like, man, we talk like every single day. Oh, well, like that now, you may not talk to them anymore. Are you okay with that? Seriously, ask yourself that question. Are you okay with that? Are you okay? Are you okay that they may not text you anymore? Are you okay that, like, man, are you okay that they block you on Facebook or they defriend you on Facebook? Like, well, I don't want to hang or chill with them, talk with them no more. Are you okay with that? But yo, that's why I asked the question today, are you okay with being okay? And trust me, like, it's sometimes I have been through that myself. And like, man, am I really okay with this? Or I'm still going to be bitter about this? Like, I had to change my responses on some things. It could be sometimes like I'll be ready to pop off in a minute, like, man, what, blah, 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 and everything. But then I had to be like, you know what? It's cool. It's okay. Because I can't let that thing break me. I can't let it, like, tear me down. I can't let it be like, man, like, I'm nothing or anything. Yo, I have to be okay with this thing. So for me being okay, for me accepting what God has called me to be, for me to be able to build up the confidence in everything that God that's placing in me for me to do, and the things of what God has called me to do, I have to be okay with being okay with everything how the way it is now. So I have to be okay. And some people may not be able to handle with being okay on with the situation. Some people just may be like, man, I just want answers. Yo, I had to say this. Be careful for you asking for the answer that you really may not want to hear. You gotta be okay with it. You have to be okay with something not being how the way it used to be. And I sit here, and even by sitting right here talking with you guys here today, it's like even I am learning from where God would take us. Where God really wants to deal with us and want us to be at a certain place, and then, man, He would take us out of our comfort zone and put us somewhere like, man, I'm totally uncomfortable with this. I'm not used to doing this. I'm not used to doing that. And God would take you out of your comfort zone this way. He can get you to the place from where, it's like you're depending more on God. From where you were stuck back in your old spot, you're like, well, you know what? I know how to wear this road. I can go to do this right here. I can go do this right here. I got, know exactly how everything was. It was kind of like your normal everyday routine for how the way you like to go. But man, what would your response be whenever God made that change on your routine? So instead of you just, Oh, okay, well, I'm going to do that's ABC. I'm going to do this right here, and I'm going to do this right here. And all of a sudden, boom, they're going to the rest of your day. Man, what if God throw like a small monkey wrench in your plan saying, I need you to go this way today. I need you to do this right here. Or when certain things happen, oh, man, I never forget. My wife was here.